Good evening. Welcome to Wolfe County Wolves Esports Action. We're joined here tonight with Drew Bush, and we're bringing you coverage of the 2019 playoffs. So we are so excited for Game 1 here between your Wolves Blue and the Johnson Central Eagles. So we're going to take a look here at our champ selection.
Starting right off the bat, we start with Wolfe County banning off Talon, Kindred, as well as Galio, three pretty strong bans. As we go to Johnson Central, who banned Vi, Jax, and are going to be finishing off with a
Vayne
ban. Okay, so go to the first wave of picks now, as we start off with Wolfe County, immediately locking in that Nasus. Nasus has been banned from Wolfe County's top lane for the last few games, so the fact that he's getting to play him is a nice breath of fresh air for Wolfe County, to say the least. As he goes with a York counter pick for Johnson County. Not much counter pick, it's just a another, split pushing top laner. So top lane's gonna have a lot of pressure this game, to say the least. We're gonna go now with the jungle pick for Johnson Central. As we go to lock in a Pike. Pike jungle is a thing. It's not very common. It might be a lock-in for the support. As we now go to Wolfe County, immediately going for a Warwick. Now, Wolfe County's roster has changed a little bit. We want to go ahead and point something out. Due to some recent lineup changes, the ADC for Wolfe County is now the former jungler, and Wolfe County is now drafted on a new jungler who specializes in playing people such like Warwick and Zinjao, Warwick being his favorite one. So he's got his first pick immediately locked in. As we go with an Ezreal pick for mid lane locking in, and a Nunu. As we now go to the second wave of bans, we start immediately with an Alistar ban, a very strong support that Wolfe County likes to play a lot of. We now go back to the next ban, starting with Wolfe County, who will be locking in a Jhin. Jhin has been one of the top, the enemy ADC's top played champions, so they immediately got that out. Now we go with the last ban for Johnson Central, which will be a Zed ban. Interesting Zed ban. Wolfe County's mid laner has played a little bit of Zed, but not any in the play versus matches. So it might just be a panic ban or something as such. Just something to get out of the way. But nonetheless, an interesting ban there. As we finish off the last ban from Wolfe County, we'll be going with a Varus. Two ADC bans from Wolfe County for that last wave, or that last couple picks. Both good bans. So now go with the first pick for Johnson Central, which locks in the Jinx. We now go back to Wolfe County, whose ADC will be picking, as he locks in the Sylas for his mid lane. He's hovering the Sylas.
contemplating this choice.
Sylas will definitely be the first time Wolfe County's played him.
Yeah, there'll definitely be some switches there.
And he locks it in.
Yeah.
Wolfe County's mid laner picking Sylas. Sylas is a very strong champion. A lot of damage from that champion, as well as a lot of utility with the ability to take ultimates as his own. Be it healing ultimates, AoE ultimates, any type of ultimate the enemy team has, he can take and use as his own. So a lot of potential from that champion there. As we now go with the last pick for the support for Wolfe County, who will lock in the Nautilus. Nautilus recently, is he going to lock him in? Yeah, he locks in Nautilus. Nautilus is probably the strongest support at the moment in this game. Nautilus got buffed recently, and now his passive stun lasts a lot longer than it used to, as well as overall his entire kit has been buffed. So Nautilus is a very strong pick for Wolfe County, and they finish off with a Nami for Johnson Central.
All right, let's take a minute and go over our starting lineup here. In the top lane, we've got senior Cody Sargent. In the bot lane running ADC, we have junior Cameron Caskey, and his support is junior Jeremy McKinney. In the jungle, we have junior Matt Riley, and in the mid lane, we have senior Brendan Bush. So that is your Wolves Blue Spring 2019 for the playoffs here. We also want to take a moment to thank our wonderful esports sponsors, Appalachian Wireless, Mountain Telephone, Licking Valley Rural Electric, Farmers and Traders Bank of Campton, Whitaker Bank of Campton, and Sweetheart by Stephanie of Campton, Kentucky. So thanks to all our wonderful sponsors out there. All right. So we are now waiting on the 3-minute spectator delay. Drew, got any other insights into the matchup here?
Well, this will definitely be an interesting game to say the least. Wolfgang having a changed roster, mainly being probably the biggest aspects of this first game they'll be playing for the playoffs. Some things in particular between the lanes. Nasus and York, both synonymous being some of the strongest split pushers in the game aside from Tryndamere. Both champions doing a heavy amount of damage late game with a lot of pushing power as well and a lot of dominance in the game. So they'll both be major key people to watch for both teams. Warwick and Nunu. Yeah, they don't have the lineup right there, but Warwick and Nunu. Warwick, a very high damage, high engaged jungler with his ultimate that jump and silence, as well as a fear. Nunu being
jungle.
Yeah, they just don't have it lined up.
Okay.
Yeah. Nunu being a very CC oriented jungler, as we've seen from the last Wolfgang games where the Wolfgang's junglers played Nunu. Pyke and Silas. Silas having a lot of potential. Pyke probably being the worst person to go against Silas, being how Silas will be able to utilize that Pyke ultimate for his entire team to give him a guaranteed execution, might make Silas an even bigger threat than he already is if he gets that and manages to get ahead. Which at the point, Silas is a very strong champion in this game at the moment. Pyke again with his decent amount of CC, his mobility, his execution ultimate. Both pretty good. Ezreal's pretty strong. Both champions, Ezreal and Jinx. Jinx a little stronger at this point because she got buffed a couple patches ago. Ezreal's sort of been sitting at a pretty decent spot up until this point. That'll just be a skill-based matchup between those two. And then the supports. Definitely in favor of Nautilus. Nautilus is probably one of the strongest, if not the strongest support in this current patch. He recently got buffed, as I just said, and he is just a definite threat if he manages to help or get all that CC down with that stun and those hooks and such. So overall, Wolfgang should have a pretty strong advantage in both the damage department as well as the team fight comp department. But we'll just have to see, depending on how the teams communicate and stuff, to be able to do anything and see if they can, utilize that communication to maximize the amount of, efficiency that they can put off.
Alright, so we're just about 20 seconds away here from the loading screen. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, that like button, and the little bell to get notifications every time your Wolfe County Wolves Esports plays this season. We are going to transition here to the match screen. So you will see the loading screen here momentarily. So this is the first round of the playoffs, and both our Wolves White and Wolves Blue qualified for the playoffs. And ironically enough, both teams are playing a Johnson Central team. So the Wolves Blue is playing the LEagles team, and the other team, the Wolves White, is playing the Aniva's Talon team. So both teams in action today. We are just streaming the Wolves Blue squad today, but we'll have to see how it goes for the future. We are logged in here, and your Wolves Blue will be on the blue side, so they will be the team with the blue bars above their head.
Both teams now loaded into their fountains as the walls just now despawn, and everyone moves to their respective lanes. Silas moving up to mid lane. See Warwick moving to his bot side jungle with Ezreal and Nautilus following up. Nasus moving straight to the top lane. Silas moving up towards that top lane pixel brush, getting ready to ward that. As Nunu's actually starting at his red buff. Both junglers starting at the red buffs. Nunu getting top lane with that help from that Pike as well as that Yorick. We see Nautilus moving down bot side with Ezreal and Warwick to help him with that early leash. As Jinx and Nami sit at their bot side blue buff to cover it in the event of an invade. No. There we go. We'll wind up now. As now minions have spawned and are moving to lane, everyone gets closer and gets ready to start. Jinx and Nami move down to lane as Nasus sits up top side behind his enemy's top laner. We see York with a ward in the bush. Interesting choice. As the jungle camps now spawn and the leashes begin, we see Nautilus and Ezreal giving a really easy leash to the Warwick. As Pike does the same with Nunu. See Nasus and York doing some pretty slow training top lane. Both are going to be pretty bad at the early game for sure. It's when they get to that mid to late games whenever they're going to be absolutely terrifying. So, have to watch out for that. But until that point, it's going to be pretty tame. Pike lands a hook on a minion. So it's attempting to go and do some damage there, but going to decide to back off. Nunu goes to go straight for the Scuttle Crab in topside river. Ezreal missing a Q there. We see Nasus. We see Nunu maybe going for a level 2 gank here. Nasus might need to back off and be a little more cautious in the event that does so, because Nunu's pretty close and a pretty big threat if he can do that. We see Nunu securing that Scuttle Crab as Ezreal lands a Q on the Nami in the bush. Nautilus landing the hook on Jinx as well as that stun passive, his Aftershock proccing but not be able to do anything with it. As Ezreal takes a lot of damage there, forcing him to use his heal. Nautilus taking some damage as well. Nami missing the bubble. But Ezreal taking a lot of damage there, a lot of unnecessary damage from him. Silas landing the Q there. We see Pike coming in. We see Nunu coming down mid lane with that gank. As Silas is going to be hit with a snowball, forcing him to back off slightly. No spells wasted from Silas there, so they see Nautilus going in on the Nami. Nami forced to flash. Ignite following up with the flash by Nautilus. We see the stun landing on Jinx, forcing both the ADC and support to flash from Johnson Central. So both summoner spells down, all summoner spells down from the bot lane for Johnson Central. Meanwhile, Ezreal still has his flash. A good attempt by Nautilus for sure, but just not enough damage early enough in the game to do anything with. We see Silas coming in. We see the Pike missing the stun as Nunu activates the snowball, not being able to do anything. Warwick coming up to help with that 2v2 mid lane, getting the bite off on Nunu. We see the missed Q from Silas, but Warwick managing to still get an auto attack off and secure that kill as the Pike lands a Q from downtown on Silas, but not going to follow up and do anything with it. York pushing Warwick back, or Nasus back slightly in lane. Nasus having to play a little bit passive early in the game. We see Nami now returning to lane, Jinx sitting bot lane farming pretty easily. As Silas lands Q on our tower, forcing him to use that W with that crazy amount of damage with that electrocute also flashing away from tower. Some good escape there from Silas. Good damage there on his part. Nasus going in on the engaged top lane. We see the Wither. We see forcing York to flash away as Nasus manages to push him off and get some pretty easy farm.
And has 4 minutes into the match, Wolves Blue has a 2,200 gold lead and a 2-0 kill lead. A very good performance early on here for Wolves Blue.
As is noticeable, though, the roster for the team definitely changing up has made a definite improvement. Wolf County playing a lot more aggro than usual, but mainly with the addition of a much more aggro jungler as well as a more playmaking mid laner. We see Warwick coming in top lane now. We see the Wither on York from Nasus, the bite from Warwick, as well as the Fear, the Q finishing off York from Nasus. So good kill, good follow-up from Warwick there. Some good ganks overall from the Wolf County's jungler. We see Nunu now farming his Krugs as Pike moves up towards top mid lane. Warwick popping up vision of him from the vision plan. See NASA getting a couple hits off on tower, but not going to be able to do enough as York teleports straight to top lane. We see Pyke and Nunu now moving both towards top lane, maybe looking for a 3-man gank. Nasus actually deciding to back off and not go in. As Pyke comes up top lane, not going to be able to engage on him. Nunu missing the snowball in the completely wrong bush. So 3 people top lane, that gives Silas a pretty easy chance to farm at the moment without any distractions, maybe potentially get a turret plating off as well. The Q landing from Nautilus as the Aftershock proc's not going to be able to do enough. We see Ezreal coming in from the side there with the E, the flash hitting, as well as the auto attack on Nami without giving Ezreal that kill. Wolfgang sitting at a 4-0 lead. Very strong lead for Wolfgang at this point. An almost 3,500 gold lead in favor of Wolfgang. Almost a 4,000 gold lead, actually. So very strong plays from Wolfgang very early on. We see Warwick being pushed out of his jungle now. Nunu having invaded. York pushed again, strong up in the top lane. We see Warwick now going for that top lane gank again. As we see him connect to the bite. He's going to activate his Fear. This is going to be able to hit. It does connect with York as the Wither pops on him as well. Auto attacks from Warwick, and Nasus secures another kill. Nasus currently being 2-0. Very strong lead. Again, Wolfgang just making a lot of great plays, a lot of great calls, and just good overall taking advantage of that early game damage from the majority of Wolfgang's team. Silas and Pyke sitting but in mid lane now as Jinx and Nami are able to push up a little bit with the aid of a minion wave. Ezreal's landing the W onto Jinx, doing some pretty heavy amount of damage there. Silas looking to potentially rotate down to bot lane. Yeah, Silas going down for the invade to bot lane. Silas roaming past Dragon Pit. We see Ezreal managing to get some Qs off on the champions W, but not going to be able to follow up with many other abilities. Nasus securing a tower plate, top lane, as well as his demolish. Silas goes back mid lane. Now we see the bubble landing on Ezreal, as well as the rocket from Jinx, and EQ from Ezreal, managing to miss that other Q though. The York ult top lane, trying to push them waves off. We see Pyke now backing in his top side bush, as Silas manages to push back out from under his tower to get some more farm. We see Warwick going for his jungle camp now. Ezreal getting hit with a bubble, but managing to still get his E off to get away in time. The auto attack from we see a new Nautilus with the auto attack Q ignite combo. Is it going to be enough to finish Jinx off? Sadly not. Jinx going to live with barely enough health with that ignite. If Ezreal managed to get his ulti, now be the perfect time for him to use it, but sadly enough, he's only level 5. Not be able to do much with it. Zim is still landing to kill securing the kill on Jinx. Crazy damage there from him. Was that the ultimate? I didn't see an ultimate coming down from there. It might have been. That was not an ultimate. That was just an auto. We see Silas with that dash combo from going to the side with the stun missing. Nunu missing the snowball. Pyke and Nunu trying to do something mid lane against Silas, but Silas just being a little too mobile for him. Not being able to do much. We see Nunu or Nasus activating the ultimate top lane. The Wither on York just getting a Q there. We see the E going off another Q connecting as well. Another Q with some auto attacks. Getting another auto. Q secures the kill on York. Nasus an absolutely monstrous threat. We see Pyke just getting poked down little by little by those Silas Qs mid lane as well. As long as Silas keeps vision of Pyke, he won't be able to use his healing passive to his benefit. So, let's see Warwick now coming in from the jungle. Not going to be able to do anything as Pyke gets the Q off and the ultimate to secure the kill on on Warwick. Sadly enough, Warwick took a little too much tower damage there, as well as that Pyke ult really did the work on him. We see Pyke now going in on Silas. Pyke missing the stun, but going to land the E stun. He activates his ultimate, not going to be enough to kill him as Silas ignites and W's to do crazy amount of damage onto Pyke there to secure that kill mid lane. Scores currently 8-1 in favor of Wolfgang. No drags been secured, no objectives claimed by either team at this point. Nasus is going to try and go for that 4th tower plating. He's going to be able to get it, no problem, as he now walks away, taking some damage there along the way. Might sacrifice his life for that turret plating. He's going to be able to sidestep, getting hit by the snowball. Actually, no, flashing out of the York wall, getting the bite from Nunu. He's going to have to run away. We see York dominating under tower. Maybe going to engage. He's not going to follow up. Going to take too many tower shots there. Ezreal still having recently popped his ultimate. Not going to be able to do anything with it. We see the E. Oh, we see auto attacks following up. Nautilus missing his Q, but still going to get an auto attack off to secure the kill on the Jinx bot lane. But a good gank from Warwick there nonetheless. Teleport coming in from Nasus in the top lane. York popping the wall over where his teleport lands. Going to use that to escape pretty easily. Bot lane now pushed up. Every lane now, well, not every lane. Bot lane now pushed up. We see Pyke and Sylas trading pretty evenly in the mid lane as Warwick goes for the first objective of the game, being an Ocean Drake. York pops his ultimate in the top lane. We see Nasus following up with the Wither on York as he's going to follow suit. He's going to hit him with that Q as well as the E. Going to hit him with another one. Taking some heavy damage there. Nasus needing to do something. He's going to be able to secure and secures that kill no problem. The entirety of Wolfgang converging on that Pyke. Warwick secures that kill as they go and secure that first Drake being an Ocean Drake. Wolfgang just dominating his early game right now. Almost an 8,000 gold lead. Almost 9,000 gold lead in favor of Wolfgang at this point. This tower might make it 10,000, being a gold lead with that tower. Wolfgang now goes, Ezreal stealing that blue buff as Nasus holds the fort down bot lane. York does get teleport top lane, but not going to be far too late as we see an ulti from Nasus going in, the Wither on York. We see the EQ combo, just nothing York can do at this point. Nasus is just far too ahead for them to be able to do anything. We see Nunu potentially looking for a gank, but immediately decide he doesn't want to deal with the 5-0 Nasus. That's just a big problem for them at this point. Let's go ahead and check the farm real quick while we have a little bit of a break. Warwick currently sitting at a 20 CS lead against his jungler. We have about a 50 CS lead top lane in favor of Nile. Oh, we see Ezreal with the ulti. We see Nautilus coming in from the side. We see the stun landing on Nami, the ignite as well. Ezreal getting his ultimate off, doing some decent damage there, but not enough, sadly, because he's a little bit early. Pyke with that dash to the side, the hook from Nautilus on him. Ezreal just managed to stop Pyke from his ultimate by taking that kill. Good engage there from both teams there. Nautilus managing to land some very critical hooks. And EQ just one-shotting York in the top lane there at quarter health to nothing. Again, Nasus just being far too ahead at this point. Ezreal with that E to the side. We see Warwick coming in with that Fear, going to be able to pop that off on Ezreal and pop that off on Jinx, helping to secure that kill on Ezreal. Forcing a flash from Ezreal to secure that double kill, but far worth it. Definitely worth it. We're kind of saying 18-1 with a 13,000 gold lead in favor of them. With two towers, Pyke trying to stop Nasus in the top lane. Nasus going to get a Q off, almost half-healthing him. We see an ult from Nasus in the top lane. He's going to hit that E as well. The Q just demolishing Pyke. Not be able to do absolutely anything. We see the wall thrown on Nasus from. We see a gank coming from behind by Nunu.
Cody getting really deep in this base here. This is not going to be good for him.
Cody might be able to turn this around and get a 1v2 if he's able to. Getting that one Q off on Nasus. Going to see another one as well. Getting the Q. We see the Nunu with the ultimate. Going to be able to not do anything from Nunu as these kill is claimed by Jinx, getting 4-man, almost getting that kill on Nunu, barely living with any health at all. Very good though, from a definite gold bonus there for Johnson Central. That 700 gold shutdown might help them a little bit, but at this point it might not be much to do anything. Wolfgang being this far ahead. We see now Pyke, Nami, York, and Jinx now pushing in the mid lane. As Pyke comes in with that dash from the side up, we do think Sylas coming up with the E combo, getting that Q on. We see Ezreal securing that kill with the ult. We see forcing Sylas to flash. Jinx missing the ultimate. Sylas going to escape, try and run away from the side. He's going to be able to do so. He hits the Q off, but not be able to do it. Warwick hitting the ultimate on Jinx as well, activating the Fear. Ezreal coming up from the side, Nautilus as well. Ezreal securing that triple kill for Ezreal. For Wolfgang, he's saying 23-3. Nautilus coming into the jungle, or coming in mid lane, hitting that hook on him with the aftershock props off, doing a crazy amount of damage actually from Nautilus. As Ezreal's going to sit in the side, just poking little by little, getting that kill, another kill base for the Ezreal for Wolfgang. As we now see them, Wolfgang now goes for the Rift Herald, while Ezreal and Nautilus push the mid lane. Let's go ahead and check the CS real quick while they're trying to push up. Wolfgang again. Nautilus sitting a 50 CS lead in the top lane. We see Warwick sitting with about a 30 CS lead in the jungle. Sylas sitting with about a 70 CS lead versus the mid lane. This is probably the best farming at this point I've seen from Wolfgang's mid lane. As we see the hook landing from Nautilus on the Pyke, we see an ultimate coming off from Nautilus as well, hitting both Pyke and Jinx, but Pyke going to be able to escape with a sliver of his health. Ezreal ease out of the wall. We see a stun coming from the passive from Nautilus as Ezreal secures another kill. This time, Pyke hitting that hook as the snowball from Nunu connects on Nautilus as well. Nunu ult stolen from Silas. Going to pop that off. Ezreal securing the kill there with 8 of that ulti. Scores 26-3. So that's pretty good in favor of Wolfe County. Silas coming in with that follow-up. Silas just shredding the Nautilus, or the Nunu, as Nasus just freely pushes top lane with that Rift Herald. Nasus with the ultimate as well. We see him flashing with the Q for the Nami, as he just goes and just chunks that inhibitor down, as Ezreal and Nautilus also come up. Nautilus with that Nunu. Oh God. Nasus following up, getting the triple kill on Pyke, as Pyke takes the kill and manages to secure it on Ezreal, pulling him under that tower to do a pretty good amount of damage. Rift Herald's still up for Wolfe County as they push now. Nunu landing the snowball on the Rift Herald as they're all going to go in. Nasus securing the kill on Yorick, Silas securing the kill on Nunu. Jinx and Nami trying to push up, trying to stop the game if they can. Silas steals the ult, going in with that E-dash. He's going to try and do something as they go to secure the Nexus for a very clear win in favor of Wolfhanger, 32-4.
And a very quick win, too. It's 16 minutes,
Pike's
11
going to get
seconds.
that last kill for that shutdown on Nasus. But 32-5, Wolfe County winning at 16 minutes.
All right, we will be back momentarily here with our player of the game. We want to thank everybody for joining us, so don't stick around. We've got our player of the game interview coming up here in just a moment. All right, we are joined here with our player of the game, Mr. Cameron Caskey. Cameron, congratulations. Good job on a victory in Game 1. So the big story here, we had a little change up in lineup. You're playing ADC now, so you're able to dish out a little more damage than that jungle role and stuff. So what are your thoughts on this ADC role?
So, it's what I played last season. I'm definitely used to it. I'm able to do a lot more damage, like you said, in jungle, and Matt's able to pick up with the engage, and it all around just works out with our team.
So you finished with 12 kills and
12 kills.
12 kills, one death, and 5 assists. So you did an awesome job helping to carry this team. You and Cody both sort of were the carries this time around. So
Cody definitely did really good with pushing those towers down. It was like 16 minutes. Tower plating had just fallen, and he was already at their inhibitor. It was insane.
I mean, kudos to this team. They put up a great fight and stuff, and they had a lot of good moves and stuff. But you guys won this in, I believe, the fastest time yet so far.
I believe that is our new record.
So congratulations. Any predictions for the playoffs?
Let's just watch everybody get clapped, and that'll be it.
One game at a time.
You
so
know
let's go out there and let's get another victory here. So we'll be back for round number 2. This is best of 3, so we have to win 2 out of the 3. So Cameron, congratulations, and good luck next match.
All right.
We'll be back in just a few minutes, everybody, with game number 2.